Good afternoon, folks. Aaron Dorr here with the New York State Firearms Association. I know it's 1:30 in the afternoon on a Friday. People are kind of doing the countdown. But, guys, information we have to give you right away. Hopefully you guys have a chance to watch this over the weekend and talk to your friends, gun owners, hunting buddies, everybody else about the new ATF director that Joe Biden is trying to ram through the Senate as early as a week or so from now. Again, guys, Aaron Dorr, New York State Firearms Association, and we have a video for you guys that you have to see. I'm going to pause here for a moment, wait for this video to actually get put out on Facebook. It's slow rolling it right now for some reason. I can see it hasn't gone out to our audience yet. So I'm going to pause here for a moment. When you see the video come online, let us know where you're watching from. Post your location and any questions you have in the comment section. But I can see it's not going out just yet. So we're pausing here just for a moment before we kick off this broadcast. But, one of the most exciting things for gun owners at the national level last year was just boot stomping David Chipman's backside right out of the Senate. Joe Biden's team went way beyond where they had the votes to go. Way beyond where they had the votes to go when they chose David Chipman. And Chipman had one of those faces that you just wanted to punch the guy right in the jaw. He was a thug. He was a pig. He absolutely hated gun owners. And so as a result of that, the pressure mounted in D.C. and Chipman's nomination ultimately was stopped, was crushed, and Biden was embarrassed and had to withdraw that nomination. Now, Biden's been licking his wounds for the last 6 months now, trying to find a new nominee to run the ATF. Now, the ATF should be disbanded. It should be shut down. It should be just dissolved. It's a scandal-ridden, tyrannical, thuggish organization that only seeks to harass gun owners. But Joe Biden's not going to do that. And so instead, he is about to name Steve Dettelbach. Steve Dettelbach as the new director of the ATF. Now, of course, this has to be confirmed in the Senate before he can become the nominee. But multiple sources indicate this nomination will be announced as early as next week in D.C. So if you're low on time, whatever else you do, hit the link below, hit your petition, and tell Schumer and tell Gillibrand, if you support this nomination, you put this guy up there and you vote him through, it's one more nail in your party's coffin in November. Everyone knows it's going to be a bloodbath for Democrats in November. Many people think that they're going to flip both chambers of Congress, perhaps. And folks, this is one more nail in their coffin if they do that. So take a moment, hit that link, and sign the petition to reminding Ossoff and Warnock, if you do this, your party will pay the price in November, and you're going to lose your freaking majority. Now, back to Dettelbach. Again, if you looked at David Chipman's jaw, you just wanted to punch the guy, right? He needed an uppercut right across the face, and it presented poorly. All kidding aside, he presented terribly in judiciary. So Biden's not making that. He's not making that same mistake again. Instead, this is a picture of Steve Dettelbach. Looks about as menacing as, your next door retired neighbor, right? This big old look on his face. And here's the kind of guy you can just tell he never had a girlfriend in high school. You can just know. Whereas our illustrious vice president, well, she was everyone's girlfriend in high school, and she's never stopped that. So this is who Biden's trying to push forward. He wants us all to believe he's some kind of a mild-mannered guy who's not going to be a nemesis to gun owners. The truth, folks, is very, very different. For 8 years, Steve Dettelbach was a U.S. attorney under Barack Obama. And so as a U.S. attorney, we know a lot about where he stands when it comes to gun control. That's Steve right there with President Obama. And after Obama left the White House, Dettelbach left the Justice Department, and he then ran for an AG position in the state of Ohio. And on the campaign trail for a year, Dettelbach made his views on gun control perfectly clear. The guy is a radical leftist. He always has been. And he wants the following things. Number one, a complete and total nationwide ban on the sale of any and all AR-15s, or similar firearms. If you buy one of those, you are a felon in a Dettelbach's mind, and you should go to prison. Number two, he wants New York-style gun registration for all firearms, handguns and long guns. If you give so much as a .22 rifle to your grandson, Dettelbach wants to have this transaction in a government database that he can track, laying the groundwork for eventual gun confiscation. Number three, Dettelbach loves making misdemeanors grounds for being disarmed for a lifetime. This is the left's big push right now in D.C. We saw it with VAWA, the Violence Against Women Act, just last month. Their idea here is to take more and more people with misdemeanor convictions and make them prohibited persons on the NICS database. If they do that, if they crack open Pandora's box in that way, they're going to put millions of people who can currently own firearms in this country onto a prohibited persons database, which, of course, that's their goal in the first place. Number four, he's a big fan of red flag gun seizure laws. Of course, we're not new to that here in New York State. But Dettelbach, he goes even perhaps in some ways beyond that. He thinks anybody who has mental difficulties should be disarmed. He doesn't define what that means. He doesn't give any idea, any clarification on what that means. So anybody who has any mental difficulty should be disarmed. Of course, we already have federal law, right, that says if you are adjudicated defective, you cannot own firearms. But adjudication is that means something. That means you have due process rights. You have a judge. You have a lawyer present. You can bring your own witnesses. You can bring your own evidence. You can confront the other side's evidence. You have ways to fight back against these attacks on your gun rights. But according to Dettelbach, anybody with mental difficulties should be disarmed across the board. Just take them all. Take them all. It's like red flag laws on steroids. There's a lower threshold required, the way he is talking, than what even a red flag gun seizure law is, which, of course, is already unconstitutional tyranny in its truest form. So this guy is every bit the left-wing radical that David Chipman ever was. If anything, he's more of a risk to gun owners because he looks like this. Nobody takes the guy seriously. He doesn't have that David Chipman jawline. And folks, you might think we're crazy. I'm telling you, this stuff matters. This is why the White House, chose a guy like this. The same ideology as David Chipman, but he doesn't look near as menacing as David Chipman. And that's why it is essential that we get on this nomination right away and remind Chuck Schumer and Gillibrand, if you push forward this nominee, this is going to blow up in your face in the midterms. It's going to be one more reason why your party is likely to lose your majority in November. I want to be very clear on this. I'm not saying contact Chuck Schumer because he's going to suddenly see the light, have an epiphany, right? And block Dettelbach because he's anti-gun. Not at all. But they have a 50-50 majority right now in Washington, D.C., folks. If they lose one seat, if they net lose one seat, that's it. They're back in the minority for what could be a very long time. And so while Chuck Schumer doesn't give a crap about gun owners, he does give a real crap about keeping his position as Senate Majority Leader. And that's why if we pound on these guys right now, we can help them realize if you confirm this nut job, you're going to pay the price. Maybe you won't personally, maybe you won't do it yourself, but your party will pay the price come November. So hit that link, send in your email, sign the petition, and make sure they know that before Joe Biden even rolls this guy out as the official nominee, gun owners are wired for this fight. We're going to be flooding the Senate with petitions and calls and emails, and make sure they know that pushing this guy forward is going to be a very painful proposition for your party. Guys, we did this with David Chipman last year. We can do it again this year with Steve Dettelbach if we all stand together. So, guys, fire off that petition. Make sure your friends and family do as well. Share our video on your Facebook page, on social media. Get them involved in this fight. And visit joinnysfa.com to join our fight today as a member. Thanks, guys. Share our video. We'll keep you informed. Take care.